Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be doing some beginners yoga, some kind of basics, intros, we'll break some poses down. I have this lovely student with me today, my boyfriend Mike. He's going to be helping us out. Just really quick before we get started, some props that you might want to have. Maybe some yoga blocks. If you have them, great, please use them. If not, you can always stack some books or take a big book and put it on its side here for a little prop. You might want them. You don't need them per se. I'll show you options with and without, but it might be nice to have the blocks if you want. Put these here at the front. And maybe a blanket. A yoga blanket that looks like this. You can take any blanket in your house. A towel even is nice. I have it folded up like this in a square for now, if you want to do that if you have one. Other than that, you just need yourself. So we're going to go ahead and get started in Shavasana, which basically is a nice resting pose on your back. So Mike will lay down, and the feet will be as wide as the mat. And then the toes just kind of flop out to the sides, nice and comfortable. His arms are slightly outside of his body, and his palms are facing up to the sky. You might want to tuck the shoulders underneath you just a little bit so that you feel a little lift of the chest. The eyes are closed, and the back of the neck is long. It doesn't feel like you're tilting the chin up or down. And then just fully relax in Shavasana. One of the best poses. Mike, is this your favorite?
It's my favorite.
It's his favorite. So this is a really great way to start your class. It's just to take some moments in Shavasana, some really deep breaths to kind of open up your practice, to get settled into the mat, to your space, to your body, to really arrive. So taking deep inhales through the nose and exhaling out of the nose. Full breath in, full breath out. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling. So the breath tries to move like this throughout practice. Of course, the breath will vary and it will fall out and the breath might get short, but really always trying to come back to these long, deep, full inhales and exhales in and out of the nose. So with the lips sealed if you can. Throughout class, we might take a few cleansing breaths with the mouth open on the exhale, but pretty much in and out of the nose and keeping your mind's attention on the breath. So as the mind starts to wander, as you start to think about other things, a really quick way to bring you back into the present moment is just to listen to the sound of your own breath. So finding that long inhale and exhale. So just one more here to let Mike get nice and settled on his mat. And then we'll come into a supine twist. Mike's gonna kind of wiggle his feet a little bit more hips distance so they're not as wide. And then take the right knee into the chest and interlace the hands on the right shin. And if that's not accessible, you can always interlace it on the hamstring. Yeah, but you just want to kind of pull the right thigh closer to the belly, maybe even touching the belly and feeling that little compression. And then dropping it into the supine twist, Mike will move his right knee over to the left. The left hand guides the outer right thigh down, or the knee down, and then opening up the right arm to a T shape or a cactus shape. So a T shape will be extended long if you have the space, and then a cactus is bent. Yeah. And then take your left hand to the outside of the right thigh. So you're gently pressing the outer right thigh down. The knee does not have to come anywhere close to the ground. What's more important is that the right shoulder is heavy towards the mat. And then he can always gaze to the right if it feels okay in the neck. Just kind of get the twist. Supine twist. Really nice. One more breath here. Good. Come back to center as you inhale. And exhale to extend the right leg long, taking the left knee into the chest and interlacing the hands on the left shin. Again, hamstring if that feels better for you. A few moments to just kind of feel a little compression of the knee in towards the belly and towards the thigh. And then I didn't say on the other side, but the front or the leg that's extended long, the toes are flexed and the leg is pretty active, almost like you're standing on the leg, just for this first part. And then when you move into the twist, the left knee moves to the right. Right hand guides the outer knee, outer thigh down, opening the left arm to that T or cactus shape, twisting out the spine. Again, maybe heading that left shoulder down. You can always wiggle and move your right shoulder a little bit to the right to help get the left shoulder down a little bit more. And then gaze straight up or to the left, maybe to the hand if it feels okay in the neck. And then really just trying to relax here. There's not a ton of effort. You're just letting the pose take shape as you find a twist, bringing out the spine. One more breath. Good. Come back up to center. And then take your knees into your chest and find a happy baby. So we'll take a modified happy baby at the start. So Mike's gonna take his hands underneath the knee pits, is what we'll call them today, the backs of the knees. Flex the soles of the feet straight up to the sky. And it's like you're pulling your knees wide, like apart, and then down, like you're trying to pull them to the outer armpits. So the knees are very wide, the feet are flexed up. And then you're using the strength of your hands to kind of pull the knees wide. And you feel the stretch in the hips and the inner thighs. Maybe even a little rock side to side, left to right, as you press your lower back down to the ground. So it's almost like you're giving your lower back a massage as you rock a little bit left and right. Happy baby. One more breath in this happy baby. And then release and take the knees together and grab the hamstrings and rock up and down the length of the spine a few times. Rocking, rolling, up and down, eventually coming all the way up to a seat after you kind of massage the spine. And then finding a tabletop on hands and knees. So you'll set up this tabletop position on all fours. You want the wrist to be right underneath the shoulders and the knees to be right underneath the hips. Tabletop position. From here, just a very neutral spine, the gaze is down, and then we'll come into a cow pose. So inhaling to drop the belly down, lifting the gaze, and then rolling the shoulders back, cow pose. Exhale for cat, push the ground away, chin is tucked to chest, and you're doming the very upper part of the back towards the sky as the tail tucks. We'll do twice with the breath. Inhaling for cow, belly drops, gaze lifts, chest open. Exhale for cat, push the ground away and round your spine. Inhale again, cow, finding a little back bend. Exhale for cat, feel the navel pull into your spine. Good, come back to a neutral spine as you inhale. Tuck the toes if they're not already, and lift the hips up and back to downward facing dog. So the hips lift up to the sky. I'm going to give Mike a few moments here to just kind of find some movement. So maybe bending the knees out, shaking the head, waddling a little bit left and right, kind of getting the moves out, getting the fidgets out, maybe a little pop or a crack or anything like that. So that you can eventually come to stillness. So in down dog, especially if you're just starting out yoga, you want to really keep the knees bent here. And then really think about lifting the sit bones higher up to the sky, like this nice curve, this flat back that he has. And the sit bones are going straight up to the sky as he presses his chest back to his thighs, chest to thighs. Hands are spread very wide, and you want to really grip the finger pads and the knuckles down, kind of like the inner arms are trying to pull together. This looks so good. Down dog. Just one more breath here. And then bend your knees even more. Look at your hands and start to take little small steps all the way up to the top of the mat. Feet are hips distance, ragdoll. Grab opposite elbows and let the head hang heavy. So this should feel pretty good. Definitely keeping the knees bent. You might even bend the knees so much that the belly rests all the way on the thighs. The head is heavy. You can sway a little bit side to side. Really let the head go. And then just notice what forearm is on top and switch the grip of the forearm so the opposite forearm comes on top, and you might feel a different stretch in your shoulders. You can sway a little bit here, whatever feels nice. So the backs of the legs are getting a stretch. And then let the hands come all the way down to the ground. Keep the chin tucked to the chest, the knees bent, and slowly start to round yourself all the way up to stand. Stacking one vertebrae at a time until you come all the way up. The head is stacked over the heart. Reach the arms up to the sky, and then interlace all 10 fingers up and over your head. So you're making a fist with your hands. As you inhale, pull the arms up, and as you exhale to the right, take a side body stretch. Press your left foot down, and really think about pulling the left arm over to the right more. And you should feel like you can kind of breathe into the left side of your body. Inhale to come back up to center. Exhale, side bend up and over to the left. Now the right foot presses down, feeling the stretch from the right hip up the side of the arm, breathing into the right lung, the right rib cage. So nice. Inhale, come back up to center. And then exhale, take your hands together at your heart. Good. We'll work a modified Surya A, or we call it sun salutation. So modified Surya A, modified sun salutation. Feet are going to stay hips distance. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. So for Urdhva Hastasana, let's touch the palms together, and then you might even look up and see the palms touch. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale to a forward fold, arms go all the way down to the ground. Forward fold or Uttanasana. Now bend your knees enough so that the hands do touch the ground. So if your knees have to be super bent, amazing. Inhale to a flat back. The hands slide up to the shins. Keep a little bend to the knees, almost like you're trying to kind of pop the booty out, and then open up the chest and slightly pull the shoulders together. The back of the neck is long, so you're not looking up. The back of the neck is really long, the gaze is down. So nice, and then back to a forward fold, bend the knees, let the head go as the hands touch the ground. Plant your palms, so bend your knees enough to plant your palms to the mat, and take as many steps as you need back. Maybe it's 2 big steps or a few steps back, so you're gonna plank pose. So plank pose is really, really nice. Takes a lot of strength. The inner thighs are working up, the belly is in, heels pull back as the crown of the head pulls forward. Take one more breath in plank, and then just drop your knees down to the ground. So you're in this kind of longer tabletop, so don't adjust to that normal tabletop that you did before. From here, you'll slowly lower down to the belly. So the elbows bend back. One straight line, he comes down. Not pelvis, belly. It goes one straight line down so that he's on his belly. Untuck the toes. Really plant and press the feet into the ground and lift up to a baby cobra. So just the heart will lift up. It's a very small lift. Toes stay pressing down, pubic bone stays pressing down. And then the elbows are slightly pulling together. Baby cobra. And then as you lower back down, release the head, release all the work. Pressing up through tabletop, hands and knees. So tucking the toes, pressing up kind of that longer tabletop, and then back to downward facing dog. Hips go up and back to the sky. Yeah. So that's a Surya A, a sun salutation. We'll do it again. Bend the knees, look at your hands. Exhale, taking steps up to the top of the mat. It can be as many steps as you want. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale to fold. Head hangs, hands down. Inhale, stand to rise. Urdhva Hastasana, palms touch together at the top. Maybe see the palms connect. Exhale, hands together at your heart. So a little bit more with the breath. Inhale to sweep the arms high to the sky. Exhale, dive and fold, hands down, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, slide the hands to the shins, shoulders back. Exhale, plant the palms, take 2 big steps back to plank. Try 2 big steps, yes. 1 full breath in plank. Exhale, knees down to the ground. Slowly bend your elbows back to lower all the way down to the belly. Inhale, baby cobra, tops of the feet press down, lifting the chest. Exhale, lower down. Let's try pressing up through a plank pose this time. Tuck your toes, 1 straight line, pressing up to plank, and then back to downward facing dog. Good, breathe here for a second. Give Mike a little love. And we'll do 1 more of those. Really start to use your breath here. Inhale, bend your knees, look at your hands. Exhale to step up to the top. Inhale, flat back, halfway rise. Exhale to fold. Inhale, stand up, circle the arms high, palms together to touch. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms reach up. So really get the breath moving. Exhale, dive and fold. Inhale to your flat back. Exhale, plank. Plant the palms, step it back. So you can always use your knees or not. Maybe Mike does no knees this time. Come all the way down to your belly, lowering with control. Yeah. Inhale to baby cobra. Lift the chest, elbows squeeze together. Exhale through a plank or tabletop. Make your way back to downward facing dog. That's a Surya A, sun salutation. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Again, inhale through the nose. Exhale out of the mouth. Good. Inhale, bend your knees, look at your hands. Exhale, taking some steps up to the top. Good. This time we'll find a flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees enough so the hands plant to the ground. Step your left foot as far back as you can. Take a big step back with that left foot. And then place your left knee down to the ground. Untucking the toes, reaching the arms up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Now this is where the blanket might come in handy. Do you want the blanket underneath your knee?
I'm okay, but you can show it. Show it.
It's okay. You can always put a blanket underneath your knee for padding. So Anjaneyasana. Mike, step your foot forward just a little bit more. Yeah, so when you let the hips go forward a little bit, you want the knee to be right over that right ankle. The back toes are tucked. And it's like you're trying to pull the right heel back and push the left knee forward. So the legs are kind of scissoring up together. Reaching the arms high to the sky. So straighten the arms. Let's take one breath here. Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Exhale, cactus the arms. So now you might find a little back bend, pressing the elbows forward slightly, and then really lifting the chest, maybe lifting the gaze up as you feel like your heart's trying to pull up to the sky. So good. Let's inhale, go back to straight arms, straight spine. Arms go up to the sky. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee up, low lunge. So in this low lunge, Mike will pull the chest forward. So it's almost like you're trying to reach the crown of the head forward and rip the mat apart with your legs. This is where blocks might come in handy. So you can put them underneath your hands at any height so you can feel a little bit more supported in this low lunge. Exhale, straighten the right leg, modified pyramid. So the stance doesn't shorten. The left heel stays lifted up off the ground. Definitely use blocks or books or maybe something underneath your hands. Or if you don't have anything, the hands stay on the ground and you don't have to straighten the right leg at all. But the action is to work towards a straight leg. So you're really kind of pushing the big toe down, pulling the right hip back so it's in line with the left. And then try to just relax the head and the chest as much as you can, and you should feel the stretch in the back of your right leg. So we'll flow just 2 times through low lunge and this modified pyramid. So with your breath, inhale, bend your right knee, pull the chest forward, low lunge. Exhale, straighten the right leg, back to modified pyramid. Again, inhale, bending the knee to low lunge. Exhale, straightening the leg, modified pyramid. Good, this time bend the knee, low lunge. As you exhale, step the left foot up to meet the right foot. Forward fold at the top of the mat. Hanging heavy for a second. Maybe you flutter the lips or shake the head yes, shake the head no. Just let that side go. Good. Let's take the hands down to the ground once again. This time step the right foot all the way to the back of the mat, as far as you can go, placing the right knee down to the ground or your blanket. Untuck the right toes and reach the arms up to the sky, up and over your head, Anjaneyasana, low crescent. Maybe stepping the left foot, wiggling it forward just a little bit to really make sure the knee is over that ankle. Yeah. And then finding that scissoring action of the inner thighs. Left hip, left foot trying to drag back, right hip, right knee trying to pull forward. Take an inhale with straight arms. Really reach them as high as they'll go. Exhale, cactus your arms. Try to find a little back bend, a heart opener. Lifting the chest, almost like there's a string attached to your heart. Someone pulling it up to the sky. Slightly pull the shoulder blades together on your back. So nice. Take your next inhale, reach the arms back up to the sky, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, hands come down to the ground. Framing your left foot, maybe grabbing your blocks now and putting them underneath your hands. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee up, pause in low lunge. Feel the chest pull forward. Feel that right leg really straight as you pull the heel back, like you're trying to rip the mat apart with your feet. Take one more breath here. Exhale, just start to straighten the left leg. Modified pyramid. Yeah, the right heel remains up. Should definitely feel a stretch on the back of the left thigh. Pulling the left hip back, right hip forward. So it's that same kind of scissoring action, like you're trying to magnetize the inner thighs together. And then try to relax the head, the chest a little bit. One more breath before we find movement. Good. Inhale, bend your left knee back to low lunge. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, straighten your left knee back to modified pyramid. Again, inhale, bending the knee, low lunge, chest forward. Exhale, straighten, squeeze the inner thighs together, modified pyramid. This time, bend the knee, chest forward. Exhale, step the right foot up to meet the left foot, forward fold to the top of the mat. Let the head hang heavy. Good. Take an inhale, flat back, pull the chest forward, hands to shins. Exhale to refold. Inhale, stand all the way up, sweep the arms high to the sky, palms connect at the top. Exhale, hands together at your heart center. Close your eyes for a moment, just take a breath in. Maybe a little sigh out of the mouth. So we'll work some standing poses. We'll start with a one-legged mountain pose. I also like to call it Karate Kid. So the arms go up to the sky as you breathe in. I just like it.
Can we turn around?
Oh, you want me to turn around?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike will face you for this, but you can stay facing the front of the mat. So arms up to the sky, back to that kind of Urdhva Hastasana, but leaving the palms separated, but palms facing one another. Yeah, and then start to rock the weight into the right foot and float your left knee up into the chest. So it's almost like you're pulling, come to Karate Kid first. Yeah. So the left knee is right in line with the left hip. Karate Kid, one-legged Tadasana. Could be enough for you just to work a standing balancing posture on one leg. Maybe start to open up the left knee to the left, kind of opening up the hip. And then coming to a tree pose. Place the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right calf. Now, if you can take the ankle and kind of wedge it real far up there. It can be above the knee. Mike can do it so he can show you. So you can be above the knee in tree pose like this, or maybe below the knee on the calf, or even with your toes tucked on the ground, so the foot's kind of like on the ankle. Yeah, so that can be really a nice supported low tree. But if you want to try a little balance, take it off the ground. Hands can stay up or they can come to your heart. The left knee stays pulling out to the left, but keep pressing the left hip forward. Tree pose. A little sway, a little movement is cool. Mike's doing a really good job balancing. Take one more breath here. And then come back to Karate Kid, one-legged Tadasana. Arms up, left knee floats up. As the left foot steps down, hands come back to your heart center. Pause for a moment. Yeah, nice job. Other side, arms up to the sky. Start to rock the weight into the left foot. The right knee pulls up towards the chest. One-legged mountain pose. One-legged Tadasana, Karate Kid. Maybe start to feel what it feels like to open up that right knee. So it's kind of the same as tree pose. The hip is starting to open. If you want to try for the balance, tree pose. Sole of the right foot, anywhere on the inside of that left leg besides the side of the knee. So if it's on your kneecap, the side of the knee, take it above, take it below. Hands can come to heart or they can stay up. Maybe the toes are tucked. Find one thing to look at, one point of gaze. This is gonna help your balance, but do allow some swaying, some movement to happen. That's totally fine. If you fall out of the balancing pose, you come right back into it. Pressure between the foot and the leg also kind of helps stabilize you. So good, back to one-legged mountain, arms up, float your right knee high, and then step the right foot down, hands come together at your heart. So good, let's face back forward if you're not already to the front of the mat. Come to the top. Okay, one more standing pose. Separate the feet hips distance. We'll work a chair pose, Utkatasana. Arms reach up to the sky as you inhale. Exhale, start to bend the knees back like you're sitting back down into a chair pose. Now the weight is back into the heels. You might even look down and see that you can see your toes. So the knees, the shins are back behind the toes. From here, the arms try to pull up. So it's really hard. It's a hard pose to lift the chest as you're bending the knees. And feel a slight pull of the pubic bone to the belly button so that you stay out of your lower back. It's like the knees are trying to squeeze the block. You might even put a block in between your thighs. Find a little squeeze there. So kind of squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as you sit down. Just one more breath. Maybe lowering a little bit more. 3, 2, forward fold, straighten the legs, hands down, release all of that. Shake the head out, let it go. How are you doing? Good?
Great.
Okay. Little bend to the knees as you slowly stand back up to rise. Sweep the arms up to the sky, palms touch together at the top. Exhale, hands come together at your heart center. So good. All right, coming into some standing poses. So from here, you'll just step the left foot as far to the back of the mat as you can. And then make sure that you're not in a tightrope. So take a little bit of a wider stance. So tightrope meaning the feet are in one line, but more like train tracks. Like the right foot's on the right side of the mat, the left foot's on the left side of the mat. So take the left foot a little bit further here. And then lift the left heel up and reach your arms up to the sky. So this is very similar to when that left knee was down to the ground, but now the knee is up. You can definitely bend the knee a little bit more. Yeah. And then still feeling like the right hip is moving back. This is called a crescent pose. Same as before again, but now the left knee is up. Reaching the arms high, crescent pose for one more breath. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. So you'll spin the left heel down, open up the arms right and left. And then take notice that the left toes are turned in a little bit, kind of like they're moving towards the top left corner of your mat. So the left hip is rolling forward so that you can really bend into the right knee. Now make sure the right toes are facing straight forward. And then it's almost like you're trying to pull the right knee to the right, like press into my hand. Yeah. And then notice if you're leaning too far forward or back here. So nice. So the shoulders are right over the hips. Beautiful warrior 2. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Straighten your right leg. Sorry, we'll do reverse triangle. Straighten the right leg and reach the right arm up and over the head. So give your right knee a little bit of a break. You're pulling the right hand back and pressing the right hip forward. Reverse triangle. Good, come back to warrior 2. So bend your right knee. Now keep the knee bent and find reverse warrior. Right arm goes up and over the head. So very same. Now the right knee stays bent. Still feel like you're pulling, pressing the knee to the right. So good. Come back to warrior 2. And then let's find a reverse triangle. Straighten your right leg. Right arm goes up and over the head. Just one breath here. Exhale to triangle. Start to pull the right arm forward as the hips pull back. The right hand comes down and rests it on top of the right shin. So grab your shin. Yeah. And then think about lifting your left arm up to the sky. Spread the fingers wide. You can even gaze at this hand. And then try not to pop the bum out too much. So press the hips forward towards the wall you're facing. And then this outer edge of the foot, because the foot is on an angle, you're pressing the outer foot down. Triangle pose. Now to come into extended side angle, not much has to change. All he's going to do is just bend the right knee. Take the right elbow on top of the right knee for support. And reach the left arm up and over the head. So the left bicep is framing the left ear. And then you're creating this beautiful diagonal line of energy as you press the outer left foot down, up the side of the leg, up the hand, this diagonal line of energy in your extended side angle. Let's inhale to come back to reverse warrior. So keep the right knee bent. Right arm reaches up and over the head. Exhale, cartwheel your hands all the way down to the ground. The left heel lifts. You're in that low lunge. Step up to the top of the mat. Take a forward fold. Maybe grab opposite elbows if you want. Take a little ragdoll. Let the head hang heavy. Can't just do one side. Gotta do the other side. So let your hands come down to the ground. Slowly stand to rise. Sweep the arms up. Palms connect at the top. Exhale, hands come together to your heart. You can take your hands to your hips for the transition as you step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. The toes will be tucked, the right heel is up. And reach your arms up to the sky for crescent pose. So try to get the foot to come all the way up, the heel to come up. You're on the ball of the right foot. There we go. Yeah. Crescent pose. Love a little bend to that bottom knee so you can kind of get down into your hips. And then as the hips trying to get low, you're reaching your arms up, finding length. But then relax the shoulders a little bit. Still kind of magnetizing those inner thighs together. Crescent pose. One more full breath in. Exhale, opening up to warrior two. Spin your right heel down. You can even look and kind of see that the right toes are at an angle, maybe a little bit even more. Yeah. So you can really press down to the outer edge of that right foot. And then reaching the arms forward or back. So the chest in this case is facing the camera, right? The right shoulder is open. Like if your gaze is to the camera, your whole chest is facing forward, right? All of the chest is facing forward, just the gaze turns and reaches over the middle left finger. Yeah. So you're very open here, but then remember this left knee to keep pulling it to the left. Try not to knock your knees. Yeah, so nice. Inhale, straighten your left leg and reach your left arm up and over your head, reverse triangle. So the left hip is pressing forward. He's reaching back, really reach back and really try to touch that back wall and feel kind of the skin stretch alongside that left side. One more breath here. Exhale back to warrior two, bend your left knee. Keep the knee bent, reverse warrior. Left arm goes up and over the head. Same, now the knee is bent, still feeling the knee press open, reaching back. And the right hand can always come to the back of the leg for support. Come back to warrior two. Good, inhale, reverse triangle, so straightening the left leg, left arm up and over the head. Exhale, triangle, reach the left arm far forward. Reach left arm far forward. Pull it forward, and then left hand down, right arm up to the sky. So you're not trying to scrunch that left side body, right? And you do that by really reaching the right arm higher. And then the hand is pretty high up on the shin so that you can reach that right arm higher. So it's not about how low you can go here. How light can you get? Maybe lighten the load of that bottom hand so you can really feel that lifting up. Hips press forward. Connect with the outer right foot. Take one more breath in this triangle pose. Exhale, extended side angle. Just rebend your left knee. Take the left elbow on top of the knee, the thigh for support, as the right arm reaches up and over the head. One straight line from your heel, up the side body to the right fingertips reaching. So pulling kind of in opposite directions. And then again, lightening the load of that left arm. So try not to dump all your weight, use more core. So nice, Mike. On your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Left arm goes up and over your head. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down to the ground. This time, let's step back to plank. Take a little flow, a little vinyasa. One breath in plank. Use your knees or not. Come all the way down to your belly as you exhale. Inhale, find a baby cobra just to lift the chest. Tops of the feet root. Untuck your toes. Yeah. Exhale, lower down, and then you can tuck the toes to press up your plank or tabletop, making your way back to downward facing dog. So nice. Give yourself 3 breaths here. If you need to find a little movement, make your adjustments, bending your knees to lift the sit bones up, melting the chest back through your thighs. One last breath here. And then drop down to your knees, coming into a child's pose. So the knees come down, the hips come to the heels, the chest relaxes down, relax the arms, relax the head. Child's pose. And Mike's pretty flexible, so he can do a good child's pose. But lift your bum up off your heels for a moment. If you have a blanket, if child's is really uncomfortable for you, roll up your blanket or your towel so it looks like this, and wedge it underneath your knee pits. And then you can sit back down into the blanket so that the bum is a little bit, the legs are a little bit more supported. So you can always take this child's pose. The knees don't have to be as wide as your mat. If that's a little uncomfortable, too much in your hips, take your knees so that they're more hips distance. And then the head is relaxed, the elbows are relaxed down, just really soft here and breathing. Child's pose. Give Mike a little love. If you have a roommate or a partner, someone wants to press your back down, it feels really nice. You can ask them to do it for you. Child's pose. So really kind of shifting the energy now. We'll end class on the ground. So we've done the standing poses, we've done some balancing postures, created some heat. So shift the energy now as you're in your child's pose. Just start to maybe connect back to that breath, the long inhale and exhale coming in and out of your nose. Giving yourself a chance to rest. One last breath. And then start to pull back up to a tabletop position, hands and knees. Swing your legs out long in front of you so you can come all the way down to your bum. To your back. Sorry. He's looking at the He's like, what? Okay. So make your way onto your back one way or another. You're back. You're down here. Made it to the ground. All right. We'll work a back bend. We call it bridge pose. So bend your knees. Put your feet on the ground. Feet are about hips distance. Take them a little bit closer together, Mike. And then you should kind of be able to tickle your heels with your fingertips. So the heels are pulled pretty close in towards the bum. Again, feet are about hips distance. From here, start to press your feet and your hands down to lift your hips up off the ground. Now they can come up an inch, they can come up a foot, it doesn't matter how far they go. You can keep your hands pressing down to the ground, or maybe grab for the outer edges of your mat. Either way, start to tuck your shoulders underneath you a few times. Tuck your right shoulder, your left shoulder underneath you, tuck, tuck, tuck. And you'll find that it really starts to lift the chest to the chin. And Mike will continue to press down with everything that's touching the ground so that he can lift the hips up to the sky. And then kind of like chair pose, it's almost like you have a block in between your thighs. So squeezing the thighs together. I'm going to take it out. Yeah, so try not to let the knees go too wide, like you're squeezing an imaginary block, opening up, lifting up, back bending in this bridge pose. One last breath. And then slowly start to lower the upper back, mid back, lower back, all the way down to the ground. Take your left hand to your heart, your right hand to your belly. Separate your feet as wide as your mat, and let your knees knock in and touch each other. So this is constructive rest, closing your eyes. Really important to give the body a break and a rest after a back bend. So resisting the urge to move too much, coming to constructive rest, feet wide, knees together, and with your hands on your torso, you can really just feel your breath here. Feel that the belly and the chest are rising and falling, giving your body some time to rest after your back bend. So we'll come into another twist. We took a kind of a traditional supine twist at the top of class, so this is just a different variation of the twist. Release your arms back down by your sides and wiggle your feet so they're more hips distance, the knees will separate. Oh, I'm sorry, let's keep the feet as wide as the mat, but the knees separate. You might shift your hips slightly to the right, like pick up your hips and scooch your hips to the right. That's the right. And then let your knees drop to the left. Yeah, and then cactus your arms, or tee out the arms. We'll do cactus for space here. So you can do an open twist, technically, with the knees separated. The knees are going to the left, but you're kind of twisting the body, maybe the gaze to the right. Other option would be to stack the right knee on top of the left knee, and then pull the knees up a little bit more towards your chest, Mike. Yeah, so that the knees are in line with the hips. So kind of similar to what we did, except now the bottom leg is kind of joining the party. You can take the left hand to the outside of the right knee, the right thigh, heading it down as you twist the body to the right. Right shoulder is nice and heavy. And again, if the right shoulder doesn't quite hit the ground, try shimmying and moving your left shoulder to the left a little bit more so you can kind of nuzzle that right shoulder down. Supine twist. One more breath here. Beautiful. Let's come back up to center as you inhale. Plant the feet to the ground, make sure your hips are even. Now pick up the hips and move your hips to the left. Drop both knees over to the right, opening up the arms. Maybe an open twist with keeping the knees wide could be enough for you today, totally fine. Or maybe you want to stack the knees, pulling the knees up a little bit more so that you have more of that 90-degree angle with your legs, like an L shape in the legs. Maybe heading the outer right thigh down as you open up, or sorry, the left thigh down as you open up your left arm. As you close your eyes, or maybe even turn your gaze to the left, eyes can still stay closed. Finding this twist. Visualizing that you're wringing the spine out, almost like you would wring out a wet towel, trying to wring out the towel to get every last bit of drop of water out. You're wringing the spine out here, kind of like you're wringing out every last bit of tension. So try to relax here as much as you can for one more breath. Good. Come back to center, bring your knees up. Keep your feet on the ground with your knees bent. And we'll come into a figure 4 shape. So the right ankle will cross on top of the left knee, left thigh, flexing the right toes back towards the knee. So figure 4, making a figure 4 shape. And then coming into a little bit of a hip stretch, thread the needle. The right hand reaches through the little hole that you created in between your legs here. And then the left arm goes on the other side to either grab the left shin or even the left hamstring. So Mike's pretty open so he can grab the left shin, but maybe just start with the back of the left leg, the left hamstring. And then you're playing a little game here as you hold this hip stretch. You're trying to press the right knee forward as you pull the left knee in. Sometimes the right elbow lands kind of next to the right knee, right thigh, so you can press it open as you continue to pull the left knee in. So thread the needle. And I'll just show you another option if this is not working out for you, if the back of the thigh or the front of the shin isn't working out. Keep your figure 4 shape, but release this and let your left foot come down to the ground. And then take your right hand to your right inner thigh and kind of press it forward. So if you press the knee forward with your left foot down, you're still giving your right hip a stretch. So do something so you're feeling a nice stretch, a nice opening in your right leg. And then wherever you are, release that. Maybe extend your right leg straight up to the sky for a moment so the knee can be straight. You can roll the ankle around if you want. Yeah. And then put the foot back down to the ground and switch sides. Left ankle comes onto the top of the right thigh. Really important to flex your left toes back towards your left knee so you protect the knee joint. And then thread the needle. You're threading the eye of the needle. The hands reach through. You grab the front of your right shin or the back of your right hamstring and pull the right knee in as you maybe use your left arm or your left elbow to keep pressing the left knee forward towards the wall in front of you. So keep pressing and opening up the left hip, pulling the right knee in. The head is down, the shoulders are down. So if you're kind of reaching up to grab it, then come back to the modified version with the right foot on the ground, taking your left hand maybe to the inner left knee or thigh and kind of pushing it away from you. And then again, where can you relax? Where can you release? Try to especially release tension out of the jaw, the face, the throat, the tongue, and just feel the hip stretch. One more breath. Reach your left leg up to the sky, get a little straightening, maybe a roll of the ankle just to feel the hip stretch release. And then place the left foot back down to the ground. One last pose to kind of even out everything. We always want to end with something symmetrical in the body, something even. So we'll come back to Happy Baby, the similar pose that we did at the beginning of the class. Option for Happy Baby, the full pose is the outer feet are the ones that you kind of take a hold of. If the outer feet aren't working for you, you can always grab the ankles, the shins, or even the backs of the knee pits like you did at the top of class. But if you can get the outer feet, go for it, why not? But just know that it's not the goal, right? You just want to really kind of pull the knees down and wide, press the lower back to the ground. So if your lower back is lifting up off the mat, then maybe bring the hands down a little bit lower to the backs of the knees. And then again, as the lower back presses down, you can rock a little bit left and right, finding a little movement in your Happy Baby. Yeah. Take one more full breath in, one more full breath out. Take both knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins, pull the thighs in towards your belly. So you're giving yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Pull your forehead up to your knee, so take the head up off the ground. You're rounding here. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, release and let go back to your Shavasana. Final resting pose. Legs are long, toes are out, palms face up to the sky, relaxing everything down. If Shavasana, this extended leg variation, doesn't feel good for you, you can always bend your knees and put your feet on the ground, maybe coming back to that constructive rest where the feet are wide and the knees are together. It's a great option, or maybe you extend your legs long for Shavasana. So staying in your Shavasana, it's hard for most of us to stay still, to stay calm, to give ourselves time to really relax and to rest. Shavasana is the most important pose, the most important part of your practice. This is where you get to really rest and kind of reap all the benefits of your practice. Giving the body time to feel everything that you just did, to feel all those moves, the stretches, the strengthening, everything. It all happens right here. And the more time that you can give yourself in Shavasana, the better. So at the end of your practice, try for at least 3 minutes, maybe 5, maybe even longer. And it's easy to fall asleep. But again, you want to be in a very calm, relaxed state of mind, but maybe playing with your breath here. Or not playing, but listening to your breath. So just kind of noticing the skin as it rises and falls around your belly and your chest. Or noticing the temperature of air that's coming in and out of your nose. Shavasana. Let's take just a few breaths here together. Again, I urge you to stay here for as long as it feels good in your body. You are welcome to stay right as you are on your back, or if you'd rather end seated, just start to invite a deeper breath back into your body at first. Maybe wiggling the toes and the fingers a little bit. You can roll out the wrist or the ankles. Eventually finding a full body stretch, reaching your arms up and over your head, pointing or flexing your toes, get long and reach, kind of like you're waking up in the morning. And then roll to either the right or the left side, coming into a fetal position. Curl the knees into your chest, allow the spine to be rounded, and just be here on your side body for a moment. And when you're ready, come up to a comfortable seated position, cross-legged, keeping your eyes closed. Sit up nice and tall and straight. Take your hands together, your heart center. Push all the air out of your body, go all the way to empty. And on your next inhale, fill up the breath, fill up the belly, the ribs, the chest. Exhale out of the mouth to sigh. Do that again. Deep breath in through the nose, holding the breath at the top. Open mouth, sigh to release. Bow your chin to your heart, finding gratitude for your body, for your breath, and for your practice. Namaste. Thanks everybody. Thanks so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for Mike for being here. Have a good one.